y'all. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you are here. So yes, welcome to those of you that are new here, and welcome back to those who are already part of the family. I, again, am so glad that you are here. I am excited about this video because I'm excited about the subject matter. So as you can see by the thumbnail, we're talking about Bravo's RHOP Season 9. Yes, season 9 set to premiere very, very soon. And we're going to get into all of that in this video. So I hope that you are in a relaxed state and ready to get all of the info that they've currently put out for us. We're also going to take a sneak peek listen into the trailer. Pretty excited. It seems like it's going to be pretty good. So hopefully that you'll be able to watch it along with me as well. So you know what? I think with that, we are going to get into it. In this particular area, we're going to be covering the cast members. We're going to be covering those who are returning and those who are new to the fray. We're also going to be looking at where they are now and getting a little bit of an understanding of where they are going to be going into as far as storyline base as the season starts to unfold. Now, if you had been watching Real Housewives of Potomac, you will have known that the last season, season 8, really did have a lot going on within that season. It ended off in a very sour note, considering the fact of the altercation that happened at the GNA fashion show. That's Gizelle and Ashley's line, and it was their pretty much coming out to everybody for their line fashion show, and it just kind of went all array. All things were addressed, of course, in the, I believe it was a 2 or 3 part reunion last season. So we got a bit of a breakdown on that. I don't see where we're going to see Miss Diane anymore, which I'm really happy for that, to be honest with you. That was the friend. I don't know if she's still a friend to Ashley. And my all feeling is that Ashley brought her on for the buffoonery, and it just really went left. So at this point, I don't see anything going on with her being in the show. That does not mean that the conversation will not be had about her, because one of the new cast members is one of the ladies that was part of that altercation, and really did get hurt. And she did speak on her situation or experience on the season finale, not so much season finale, but the actual reunion spigot as well. So we're going to get into that. And, we also know that I believe it was after season 8 had aired completely. We saw that Karen, or heard of, if you didn't get to see any kind of footage of it, had been in a DUI. So lots going on. Those things seem to be like they're going to be addressed in this season. And you know how it gets when a certain situation pops up. We're going to really get into it because the ladies are going to make sure we get to the bottom of all of that. And it's going to drag probably throughout the entire season. So I am a little concerned about how some of this may go, but I am here for it. And I'm also here for the accountability. So we'll see how that all unfolds. Now, we did actually see that we have a couple of new ladies also that's going to be coming in as friends. So we're going to get to know them a little bit as well and see where they're, kind of coming in and how they'll fit into this season. And actually, if you can recall, because of the fact that we've lost 3 members out of last season, you see why we had to do a little bit of a cast shakeup. Now, if you recall, the 3 ladies that actually left was Naneka had left the show, and we had Robin, who was not asked back, and then we also have Candace, who had decided to pretty much take a step back away from the show. I think it's a possibility that she may possibly come back later on. The door, I think, is left open for that. But we do know that she is pregnant. And we also know that through a gender reveal, she is having a boy. So congratulations again to her and her husband. And yeah, we're hoping for a safe and just a protected delivery of their first child together. So yeah, really excited about that. Now, I'll be honest with you, I was a little concerned about, some of that shakeup because I didn't know how things were going to go because at the end of the day, there's a couple of those ladies in there. Now, Robin, so much, she didn't really give a whole lot for my taste. But Candace, I really did like. And Aneka, she became the nemesis for Dr. Osefo, Wendy, that is, from right off Jump Street. So I knew that that wasn't going to last, right? So, we're just going to have to see how things kind of continue on. I'm hoping that there has been some kind of closure to certain issues. I think by some of the ladies that are no longer returning, that is probably going to help that process along. So with that, let's go ahead and get into this sharing. So just give me a quick second because we need to pop up all of the good information. Let's tell you, I just love technology. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So here we go. We are going to get into it now. So now, according to who are we talking with? BravoTV.com, we are now able to meet the RHOP season 9 cast and get to know them and the complicated group dynamic that is going to ensue. So let's start with getting to know a little bit of what's going on, right? So we're getting the latest on each of the Real Housewives of Potomac season 9 cast members' lives, friendships, relationships, and careers. All right. I tell you what, I'm so excited for it. I am so excited for it. All right. Now, The Real Housewives of Potomac is officially back for season 9. Returning cast members include Gizelle Bryant, Ashley Darby, Karen Huger, Dr. Wendy Asefo, and Mia Thornton. They'll be joining the first-time wives Stacey Rush and Kiana Stewart, as well as returning friend Jacqueline Blake and new pal Jazzy Ritto. Now, the RHOP season 9 trailer teased some of the drama to come for the ladies, but to get even more insight on what to expect, we're going to check out below what was shared about each cast member in the press release for the new season. And we are going to start off first with, I can get everything moved around a little bit so I can see what's going on here. We're going to start off with Miss Gizelle Bryant, right? So let's get on with her sharing. Now, Gizelle Bryant is thriving, and as she focuses on dating and building out the newly rebranded GNA Fusion, a wellness initiative in memory of her late father. After an emotional roller coaster year, she decided to mend some of her fractured relationships in the group, but the way she goes about it defies expectation. Next up, we've got Miss Ashley Darby. Now, Ashley Darby is not playing any more games as she forges full steam ahead to get a divorce. She's thrown herself into the dating pool while balancing single motherhood, co-ownership of GNA, and having lots of fun along the way. Next up, we have Karen Huger. The Grande Dame. The Grand Dame of Potomac. Yeah, we'll see how that all falls out this season. Now, the aftermath of the car accident and DUI charge is taking its toll on Karen Huger and her family. As she tries to pick up the pieces, the ladies want the 411, but getting the full story proves to be a challenge. Now, this is Karen. Are we surprised about that? Look, we still trying to figure out really totally who Blue Eyes is, right? All right, so next up we have Miss Dr. Wendy Asefo. Now, although Wendy Asefo is retiring her professor hat, she's still Dr. Asefo in these Potomac streets. And she's heading to the White House. As she prepares to enter the 40 Club, Wendy is letting loose like never before and living her best life. All right, Wendy. Next up, we have one of the newbies. This is Miss Stacey Rush. Now, Stacey Rush has entered the Potomac chat, and she's causing lots of chatter. She's a former QVC host and mother of an 8-year-old daughter who, after 16 years of marriage, is divorcing her husband. As she enters this new phase in her life, she is struggling with the decision to date again and navigating a romantic relationship with her best friend, who is choosing celibacy over intimacy. All right. Next up, familiar newbie, Kiana Stewart. Now, Karen Stewart is trying to put the past behind her, but some wounds take longer to heal than others. While Karen works on building her relationship with the women, her plate is full. Now, she's running her business and launching a new skincare line at the same time. She's moving in with her man, Gregory, but things become challenging when his expectations are not met. And next up, we have Miss Mia Thornton. Mia Thornton's life is what you'd call complicated. She's in the process of getting a divorce from Gordon, while her relationship with her new man, Radio Personality Inc., is hotter than ever. If that wasn't enough, the ladies are questioning some of her actions, making it hard for her to know whom to trust in the group. And lastly, we have Miss Jacqueline Blake, returning friend, who has decided to come back and hang out here in Potomac with the ladies. Now, of course, we know she's a familiar face, and she is back on as a friend for season 9. Now, when does RHOP season 9 premiere? Drum roll. Season 9 of The Real Housewives of Potomac premieres on Sunday, October 6th at 8 p.m. Eastern, which will be 7 p.m. Pacific time on Bravo. Make sure you check your local listings. Episodes will be available to stream the next day on Peacock. Yay! I am super excited for this new premiere. I mean, there are so many things that I want answers to. Quite frankly, I really want to see how the ladies move forward with the absences of those long-term cast members who left last season, right? So as we know that Wendy, she was pretty tight with Candace, and of course Gizelle and Robin, I mean, really, they were the Green Eye Bandits, right? So we want to see how those two ladies are able to navigate, if they're going to be able to actually come to a friendship, some kind of, coming to Jesus, if you will, meeting between the two of them. Have the things that have happened in the last seasons, like Giselle's passing of her father, has that changed some of her perspective on things, or how she may start to approach things now in the seasons to come? You never know when you have certain things like that happen in your life. They are very much life-changing events, and therefore sometimes can also change how you may choose to participate in just group settings or in life period. So I would be interesting to see how that is going. And of course, we continue to, give thoughts and prayers to Gizelle and her family, because that was a huge, heavy loss naturally. And definitely hoping that her family is continuing the healing process. It's one of those things that I often say when it comes to losing a family member, you never get over that. Naturally, it just becomes a new normal. And how you go through that situation with the grieving process and so forth is very critical. And, we are in the early stages of the time frame, I believe. So, we're just going to see how all of this goes. I cannot imagine she's going to be really interested in doing too much fighting, at this point, considering also her, bestie Robin is not there as the, trusty sidekick either. So we'll definitely have to see how that goes. Now with Wendy and also with Candace, wonder if their friendship still continued on beyond the show. I hope it did. I did like them as friends. Now with Candace and Wendy, kind of not at least filming together every day, as the other two are not doing either. We'll see if maybe Wendy and Gizelle will be able to kind of forge again a friendship between the two. That'll be interesting. And then of course we have Karen, right? We're talking about the fact that she's got that DUI. Of course, we're going to want to know more details. I would be real pressed to wonder if those details are actually going to come out to us, or we're going to see them off camera. So I guess we'll have to see that. It did appear like we were going to see a little bit of something, because it's going to be what everybody wants to know about, right? What everybody's talking about. And Potomac doesn't seem very big. So at the end of the day, when you're the Grand Dame, you shine light. And so is all of the infractions that incur. So, I would imagine things are probably very trying in this situation, because not only could she have hurt herself, she most certainly could have hurt somebody else. And so thank God that did not happen, but you just never know. So again, drinking and driving is a no-no. I mean, how long and how many times does that have to be said? So that being said, I'm really looking for some accountability in that situation, and really wanting to hear Karen's side of the story. story and what she has to say for the incident. And, it seems like she's going to be coming face to face to with a lot of individuals within the family that were affected, obviously, by her poor choice, to say the least. So it will be interesting to see how that actually plays out on this season as well. And then, of course, we got Mia back, with Mia and her ex-husband to be Gordon. I think that they're probably still going through the divorce proceedings. We'll see more of that unfolding. As we know, we left off on the cliffhanger, basically, with the situation where Gordon and Mia had decided to part ways and we're going through the divorce. And on the same token, Mia had rekindled with an old flame. And so we'll see how that all plays out. It seemed like it was a bit too, I don't know, friendliest to me at the end of last season. I felt like there was going to be more to say when it came to the information about this in specifics, where Gordon stepped on for the reunion of last year to talk about it. So we'll see how that all unfolds. I think that we're going to see some spiciness because, of course, there's feelings involved, right? She was with Gordon for a long time. She also has kids with Gordon. So we'll see how all of those things play into play. And of course, the ladies on the season of, well, not the finale because we didn't know so much then, but during the what was it? The reunion, it seemed like the ladies were really, I don't know, opened about it. Quite frankly, a lot more accepting of the situation that I anticipated that they would be. But I wonder how that's going to play out. And as we see in the sharing, it's possible that she's going to have some thoughts about who she actually can really trust. So we'll see how all those things come about. And we got Jacqueline, who was her great friend. And we know there was a lot of situations that pretty much blew up in the last 2 seasons with Jacqueline and Mia. So maybe the show will have in turn helped them individually, as well as be able to bring them back together as more of a transparent and authentic friendship, because it took a lot of hits and we got to see a lot of unveiling and unrevealing of why Mia felt the way she felt towards Jacqueline and why Jacqueline would, rightfully feel a certain way about Mia in regards to some of the aftermath of things, because it didn't seem like she really knew or was clued into why Mia was so hurt in the first place. But we got to see that in last season. So I'm glad that we got that opening, and I appreciate Mia actually being very forthcoming in that, because it was a pretty tragic situation, to say the least. And then we also have, Ashley. She's saying, look, we're about to play no more games, right? We're getting this divorce with Michael. I think all of us are waiting to see when that was going to happen. The prenup situation didn't go too well because I don't think she had one. And then the postnup situation didn't go too well because I think that fell apart. And, it seemed to be a nice level of dependency from Ashley as she was transitioning from her relationship with Michael into single motherhood and moving on. We know she got that new home. It's a beautiful new home that she showed off last season, but she was still tied in with Michael, which I do believe, in my opinion, that it was very much financially much more tied in. Also, side note, he was there for the boys. I hope that he would continue to be there regardless of the divorce going through or not, because that would be important for her sons. And so I would imagine, he's no longer on the show, so he's not going to be scrutinized to the level of degree that he was before. So there really is no reason to shy away from that. Now the question will be, will we see the children more often on the show? Maybe so. We'll see what those things play out. I would imagine there's going to be some contingencies that Ashley probably will have to abide by, or maybe Michael will just surprise us all and decide, you know what, go ahead and do what you need to do. I trust you. And as long as I'm not being dragged through these Potomac streets on this RHOP, I'll be good to go. So we'll see how that feathers out. I know with her doing the GNA fusion line with Gizelle is giving her obviously a new lease on life. I do hope that venture does work out for them. We know Gizelle previously had I want to say it was a skin care line some seasons ago, and for whatever reason that's been shelved and no longer existing. So, this will be an interesting partnership. Is Ashley going to become the new Robin? I wonder, is there any issues there? But I guess we won't know now between that friendship, coming closer at this point with Robin. Is she even still on the fold, even though she's not on the camera. So we'll see how that all gets into play. Gizelle doesn't always talk about every single thing, but sometimes she does give out the breadcrumbs. And we're also going to see a little bit of extra when it comes to her ex-husband and her father of her children, Pastor Jamal Bryant, I guess it is. So we'll see how some of that plays into the season as well. Then we got the two new ladies, Kiana Stewart. She's the one that had to deal with the altercation. She got the short end of the stick with the situation that basically broke out into a brawl with Diane, which was, of course, if you recall, Ashley's good friend, that really was there to just set it off and cause issues between Candace actually and Dr. Wendy Asefo. And just trying to lean into the concept that Dr. Wendy Asefo's husband was a happy Eddie, which they did start a CBD line with that, and I heard that that's going really well for them, so good on them. But also that she was trying to tap into that there might have been some flirting going on. Clearly we saw the footage and it didn't seem to be any of that happening on either front, whether it was with Candace's husband or with Dr. Wendy Asefo's husband. So I'm glad to see that did not continue on, because it was foolishness. It was foolishness when it was happening. I know I was over it. And so therefore I am glad that she is not going to be on here. But I kind of feel like she would have crept her way back into the season had the brawl at the end of the season, at the season finale, didn't take place at the GNA Fusion, which, words were exchanged, between Candace and her, because I think she was pretty much kind of like, honestly, like harassing her, it seemed like, in the show. They did had it off camera, but you can hear the audio, and it was just a mess. And Kierna got the short end of that situation, and she had to go to the hospital. It was an ambulance thing, it was a whole bit. Karen was there for her, so I would really be interested to see if that relationship has continued on into this season. Sometimes Karen takes the neutral stance, as we've seen with many castmates in the past and in current, and so we're going to see how that friendship, if it still continues to evolve. I think there's going to be a bit of an issue between Karen and Wendy, so we're going to see how that unfolds as well. Quite frankly, when I saw a little bit of that trailer, it made me a little sad. So and we'll see how that goes. And I think that kind of, really pretty much puts on hold for the most part, everyone. We've talked about it. I think everybody really, right? I don't think anyone was missed there, but if they are, then, we'll see it here soon enough. So with that, I am so excited. I think that if you haven't gotten an opportunity to take a listen in or a view of the trailer, I wanted to go ahead and share that with you here. So go ahead and just sit back, take a listen, and I will be back. We'll watch it together. All right. So let me go ahead and set that up for us, because I'm really ready for it. I'm here for all of it. All right, so let's see. And matter of fact, let me go ahead and adjust that. I want to make sure you guys can hear it okay. All right. I hate that dinging sound. All right, so here we go.
Cheers, Wendy.
Cheers. I'm here for the girlfriend session. We have come a long way. We were in hell.
True tea.
This is a symbol of how I want my 40th to be. Loving those who love on you, no hard feelings.
And when you hold grudges, it's going to make you a bitter old bitch.
Oh.
Are you talking about Karen?
This season on The Real Housewives of Potomac.
It's time to turn up. It's time to turn up.
She's going the wrong way.
I don't think I've ever seen her booty look that good.
Booty is popping. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Kareem Jean-Pierre.
Welcome to the White House.
Jamal is engaged.
Yes.
How are you feeling about that?
How you doing? I'm sorry.
I love where we are.
Wendy, who would you?
Oh, Gizelle. I have someone in my life, but we are not intimate.
Stacy girl, you okay?
They ain't making fun of you and me.
They're making fun of God. What the is going on? Okay.
I feel like sometimes I shrink when I'm with you.
But just calm down.
Me and Ashley, of course, very interesting situation.
Did you have a scar on your forehead?
Don't ask me about my scar!
Karen
told me you are not Potomac.
Is it Potomac to be a drunk, crash your car into trees?
I am so sorry you heard the crash. I could have died.
Or taken the life of someone else.
Driving while impaired by alcohol.
This is what you're defending.
Lord, in the name of Jesus, wrap your arms around Karen. Amen.
Karen made it very clear Wendy was self-absorbed.
What? I have always held you down, off and on camera.
I would have respected that from you.
Not about showing that G's okay with this. I ain't okay with it. You think Gerald Mouse should be? Yeah.
Florida.
You guys have fun.
This is a can of worms you opened.
Stand on business, Granddad.
It is her birthday. Show some respect.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, so yeah, I'm here for it all. I think it is going to be a really good season. I'm really hoping it is. Let's face it, RHOP needs a good season. I know some people are feeling that, the Housewives is probably a passed along situation, passing by fancy, and I really hope it's not. I really enjoyed RHOP over the years, so I'm really hoping that this will not be the last season of them. So hopefully this will give the bang that it needs. And with the new individuals that are going to be entering into the mix, I hope that it does give us the feeling of not necessarily missing who is not here anymore, but allowing us to learn more about them. And, it really does seem like maybe we're going to get into some issues that are real issues and, kind of staying away from some of the created situations, but we'll see what happens here. So I'm here for it. And I hope that you are too. But, hey, so I think that about does it for this video. We've got to get a chance to meet the new ladies. We got to hear a little bit about where the current cast is and where they stand at this point and how things have been moving along for them. Everybody looks great in the promo pic, by the way. So yeah, I like the green. I love the green. The ladies do it really well there at RHOP. They really do. Reunion looks, they do well, as well as the promo pics for the season. Now, of course, we can go into individuals and, rate and all that kind of stuff, but I'm just saying overall color matches and all that good stuff. It really does work for the ladies. So at this point, I am so glad that you were able to tune in for this video. I really appreciate it. If you are new here, please go ahead and consider subscribing and then do subscribe and be part of the family. I would so love to have you here. And of course, for all of you that have been here and continue to be here, I thank you so much for your viewing and listening support. I really did enjoy the fact that we were really going to get into a fresh look of this franchise. So yeah, I'm excited about that. So definitely make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, be a part, and just, I love to hear your thoughts about what you think is going to be going on with the upcoming season. Are you excited for it? Are you watching it? Are you going to give it another chance? What are the things you want to know more about? What are some of the answers you want to know? Do you want to know more about, Mia's marriage, falling apart basically, and the dynamics associated with that? Are you interested in seeing how Gizelle kind of navigates without Robin being there, and also with the loss that she had just, had to deal with? And what about Ashley? Are you interested in how the divorce situation will fall through, whatever the case may be? Do you think GNA is going to be his GNA fusion? Is that going to be a success, for the ladies, Gizelle and Ashley? Let me know your thoughts about that. Are you interested in knowing more about, Dr. Wendy Osefo and what she's doing now, as she is no longer doing the professor hat? She still does do correspondence with the news junkets. So that's going to be really cool. Her going to the White House, I think, is going to be really cool. And, I'm just curious to see how she kind of moves forward now that she's entering a new decade of life, how that's going to go. So, of course, and, we already know the number one, I think, area we want to know more about is definitely Miss Potomac Grand Dame herself, Karen Huger, and how she's going to address the situation with the DUI and what are the details surrounding that and why it even happened in the first place. I mean, really, why? So at this point, I'm here for it all, and I hope that you are too. I may be recapping and reviewing it. We'll see how that goes. But definitely, make sure that you, I'll be talking about them throughout, their season anyway. So make sure if that is something you are interested in, that you have those notification bells on, have them on all, so you do not miss an episode. Of course, I cover all types of things about celebrities, non-celebrities, and reality TV, worthy news, recaps, and reviews. So definitely would love to have you. And again, I will bid you adieu. Thank you so much. Be blessed. Take care. And until next time, bye.